Hello, my steppers and makers, and not forgetting my goal-driven teachers. Welcome to my channel. I just want to take this time to say thank you so much to those that have been subscribing, to those that have been liking my videos, and also to those that have been sharing my channel with a friend. I really do appreciate it. So if you are watching right now and you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please click subscribe, like this video, and please kindly share my channel with your friends, your family, everybody. When you write your character sketch, there are 3 things that you are going to have to do. First, you are going to go through your mind map. Okay, so you're gonna jot down your ideas about your character. Usually your mind map should have your background of the character, the personality traits of the character, the character development, and also the physical features of the character. So let's look at background. Background is basically who your character is, who your character lives with, do they go to school, how old they are, etc. And then we look at the personality traits. Personality traits are things like, is your character kind? Are they trustworthy? Do they have a good work ethic? Do they show sympathy to others, etc.? And then you are going to look at the character development. Does the character change over time? So for an example, the character used to sleep all the time. Even if they set the alarm, they wouldn't be able to get up on time. They were always late for school. So towards the end of the story, does the character change their ways or not? And then we look at the physical features of the character. How does your character look like? You can describe the hair, the facial features, how the character dresses, etc. So remember, mind map, rough draft, final draft. Let's start with the mind map. We are going to look at things like the character name, the age, who they live with, do they have friends, are they at school, or does your character work? Okay, so this is all the information that we need to know about our character. Then we get to the physical features of the character. This is basically how your character looks like. Okay, so we can start from the height of the character. Are they short or are they tall? We look at the hair. We look at facial features. All right, so there are lots more that you can jot down under physical features, but I just want us to look at the hair. Okay, so let's say you have written now hair. So you are going to have to describe how the hair looks like. Is the hair long, black? Is the hair shiny, or is it dull? Then you are going to add more detail about the hair. Remember, the more you jot down here, the better it will be once you start writing your paragraphs. Okay, so now we are going to look at personality traits. All right, so how is your character? Is your character curious? Is your character encouraging? Are they faithful? Are they confident? But we can also look at the negative personality traits. Are they lazy? Are they rude? Are they aggressive or moody? Okay, so let's pick 4 personality traits. So for an example, are they confident? Okay. Are they encouraging? But also, is your character lazy? And maybe they are also rude. Okay. All right, my steppers. So we are just looking at these 4 personality traits, but there are so many more that you can write down. Remember, this depends on the character that you have chosen or the character that your teacher wants you to write about. Okay, now what is important? I've put a little star next to the word confident. Now, when you write down these personality traits, you need to be able to explain why your character is confident. So you can't just jot down all these character traits, but you are not able to prove it. So it becomes easier when you are taking a character that already exists from a book. All right, but if you are creating your own character, you need to think a bit. All right, so let's get into the word confident. Remember, what is confidence? So a person that is confident is someone that is able to approach a large crowd without being nervous, okay, or without being scared. So let me make you an example. Say, for example, you are in the class and your teacher asks for a volunteer to start giving the speech. The first person or those learners that put up their hand are usually the learners that are very confident. So remember, yes, you are going to write the word confident, but you need to know why your character is confident. What are some of the things that they do to show that they are confident? When you jot this detail down, again, it will be easier for you when you start writing your paragraphs in your rough draft. Finally, we get to character development. Now here, you really need to know about your character. Usually the personality traits of a character influence the character development. All right, now let's say our character is a character that let's just pick one thing to focus on. Always late. All right, whether it's for a class, for a party invite, anything, this character is just always late. Now, how does this character develop in the story? What does it take for this character to learn a lesson about always being late? So maybe you can mention an incident that happened. So this character started as a person that was always late, and somehow they maybe missed a very important event. Okay. And this important event made them realize that they need to change. Now we are going to look at our rough draft. So we are done with a mind map where we've jotted down our ideas, and now we have to take those ideas and put them into sentences. So I am only going to do the background and the physical features with you, and then you can do the rest. Let's look at the background. Before you even start, you need to look, or you need to try and find good sentence starters. Good sentence starters hook the reader, which is your teacher. It makes your teacher want to read more about what you are writing. Okay, so I have written 4 sentence starters that you can use when you start writing your character sketch. Growing up in the forest lived, above the mountains, and born into a family of. Now you can use any of these sentence starters, so you have to pick one. I have chosen my sentence starter, growing up in and this is how my paragraph goes. Growing up in an isolated village isn't always a Christmas carol for the 11-year-old Tabo. He always longs for a different life out in the city streets. Tabo, who lives with his mom, dad, and older sister, has a different take on how life should be. His dad works at a cleaning firm in the city, and his mom stays at home to take care of them. Every morning, he runs along with his best friend Andile to collect water from the river before he goes to school. They are both in grade 5 and attend school at Stepper Primary. Tabo enjoys school because this is the only time he gets to escape his living conditions at home. Alright, my steppers, so this is an example of how I would write my first paragraph, and this first paragraph includes all the information that I need to know about Tabo. Now, my steppers, I want you to look closely at this paragraph. Remember our mind map where we jotted down our ideas? Now, I have mentioned every single point that we jotted down from our mind map. Let's look. There's Tabo's name, how old he is, who he lives with. I've mentioned Tabo's friend Andile. I've mentioned what grade Tabo is in, which can give us a good idea of how old he is. But I've also mentioned which school Tabo goes to. Okay, my steppers, now we get to the second paragraph, which is the physical features of your character. Now, remember, once again, you need to come up with good sentence starters for each and every paragraph. I have just written this one, but I want us to look closer at the sentence. Her long hair glistened in the moonlight. Right, now, what does glisten mean? Glisten basically means something that shines or is sparkly, right? Now, we are looking at her hair. We are saying that her hair is long and it shines in the moonlight. But we can also extend on this sentence, making it a bit more interesting. Alright, so as you can see, I have added more detail to our sentence. Now it says, her long black hair glistens in the silvery moonlight. This is a way that you can elevate your writing. Now, remember, this is your rough draft, okay? Remember, I said that you can take a color pen, any color pen that you like, and edit your work. So I've just written this sentence so that you can see the final product. But when you are editing your sentence, you can just take your color pen and then just write black, and then you can write silvery. Don't erase your sentence in your rough draft. Always take a different color pen and then do the editing. So say for an example, you had written her with a small letter instead of a capital letter. Then you would have just drawn a line through and then write the capital letter H. This is a way to show your teacher that you have gone back, you've read your work, and you are now editing some of the mistakes that you have made. Finally, my steppers, I'm going to show you a demo rubric that your teacher might give to you when they want you to write a character sketch, either in a test exam or as an assessment. Right, now let's take a look at demo assessment rubric that you might get from your teacher. This is very important. When you get this from your educator, this is the first thing that you should look at. You should use this as your checklist as you are writing your character sketch. Actually, you can look at it before you even start. So you read through, you look at what your teacher once in your character sketch. So let's just take the first two. I'm not going to go through the whole assessment rubric. Let's just go through the first two. So character sketch, it says that a character sketch has been completed, and your teacher can give you 2 marks, 3 marks, 4 marks, depending on which grade and school you're in. So this is very important. You have to hand in work that is complete. So if your character sketch is incomplete, then you'll probably get 1 mark or 3, depending on how many marks that part will be. And then underneath it says the reader is able to imagine this character from the information given. Your teacher needs to have a clear and vivid image of the character that you are describing. So lots and lots of adjectives need to be used in your character sketch so that you can get the marks. Then let's look at content. There is an appropriate title. You have to have a title. If your character sketch does not have a title, then you are unfortunately going to lose the marks. There are 5 paragraphs. Now this again depends on the grade that you are in and the school that you're in. And then lastly, each paragraph contains at least 30 to 40 words. This can be 50 to 60 words. It can be 80 to 100 words. And then the mark will then differ according to the grade and the teacher. Right. So please, this is your guideline. You need to read this thoroughly so that you know exactly what to have in your character sketch. All right. I really hope that you found this video to be very informative, my steppers, and now you are able to write your own character sketch that is made to impress your teacher. If you have any more questions about a character sketch, you can comment in this video and I will promptly respond. Another option is that you can email me. My email is in the description below, and I am more than ready to respond to any questions that you may have. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to like this video, and to share. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.